Hello and welcome to this webinar on how to create and achieve numbers or letters that look like this. And to do so, we're going to have to go over to Microsoft Word. So what you're going to do is you'll click on the Insert ribbon, go to Word Art, and you can pick any one of these that you want. I'm going to pick this purple one. And then you'll type in your font. And we're just going to do the number 30 today. And then you'll go up to the text effects and you're going to add a 3D rotated shadow. And then click on this little drop down arrow again and go to 3D rotation again. Go to the bottom. There's 3D options. We're going to go to 3D format and we're going to change the color of the shadow to a black. And I like to have it at 4.5. So that's how we'll do that. And then we'll right click here and close it to accept it. And then I'm going to try something right here. We're going to right click and we'll say copy and go over to Storybook and then we'll say paste, and it's pretty darn small. So we're not going to do it that way. I'm going to teach you another little method. Let's go back to Word, and then on your computer you should have, there's a search box right here where you can type in snipping tool. But if you go to all programs and accessories, there's the snipping tool, and then you're able to left click, hold, and drag around the numbers to select it, and then right click on it and say copy. We're done with that. We don't need to save it. And then we'll come back over to Storybook. We'll right click and paste. And here is our numbers. So we're going to hold the shift key down and we're going to stretch it as big as we want it to be. And that looks pretty good. And then we'll add a background color so that we can see what we're doing here. And make sure that we get all the white and the shadows all taken off. Okay, so we're going to flatten this, and then we're going to use our cutting tools, and we're going to use the magic wand, and I'm going to turn up the threshold, and then I'll click the white area, and do you see the little marching ants going all the way around it? Okay, so we can say cut, and we get rid of the, whoa, that was too much. Do you see what it did right here on the end of the 3? Let's try that again. Okay, so we'll take the threshold down. That's too much. All right, let's try that again. Okay, that might be better. But now we've got a little bit of shadow that we don't want down here. Oh, and it selected this. Cancel that, try it again, and we're not going to do the threshold that much. We will just kind of take it bits by bits. So it's trial and error when you're using this, so don't get frustrated with it. Okay, it looks like we've got it kind of selected good. So now we'll cut it. And there. Now we're going to take the black and the purple and we're going to separate it. So we'll take the magic wand, and we're going to hold the shift key down as we select the pieces. And you want to keep selecting until you've got one solid selection. You don't want it to break up in any way. You want it to be all solid. So we'll just keep holding the shift key down and get all these selected pieces. Looks like we've got some weird thing there. We might have to fix that. Okay, then we'll just select all of that, and now we'll select the black in the center. Don't forget that, because then it's all part of the number. Okay, now we're going to say keep both areas, and we'll say cut. So now we have the black, and we have just the purple outline. So now you can take, I'm going to hide this background thing. Now you can take this purple, and you can, because it looks a little pixelated and a little blurry, I'm going to just change, I'm going to add color. So we'll just change the color to a darker purple. And don't worry about that flat look. We're going to change that too. So go to the Format ribbon, go to Surfaces, and play with some of these surfaces. I'm going to select the grass, and we'll say Preview. And you can change the contrast if you want, up or down, but I think that looks pretty good. And then you can do the same thing with the black, and because we've got a little bit of purple there, I think we're going to go ahead and try and fill that with our black. Let's see if it will fix that little dot. Nope, it didn't fix it. So we don't need to worry about it. That's okay, it gave it personality. Okay, so on this, we're also going to do the format, and we'll add the surface of the grass. Gives it a little texture, and maybe we want a little bit more grass on that one. So let's just try a little bit more. It just kind of changes your effect. So we'll say, okay, now you can take the purple and let's add a 3D filter. And I've got it set 80, 100, and 59 on those different levels. And let's do the same thing to the black. It remembers it, so you can just say apply. And there you go. Now you can select both pieces. You can arrange and group and manipulate and do whatever you want with those. Let's go ahead and ungroup. I'm going to try and show you something else here. If we double click on this, and I have loved this tool. So if you take the paint tool and you go to the black, let's see if we can fill that one little spot in. And then you can take your brush size and just paint, paint, paint. And we might not be able to paint it, so I'll show you another way that you can fix it. Okay, so we're going to take and we're going to insert a shape, and from an art kit, all we need is just a little tiny square piece that's black. So we're going to insert that. We'll go to our black and say okay and create. Now let's put that below, and let's just stretch it, make it go really small, because all we need to do is have it hide and fill that black. So we can select it and then right click and flatten it, and then we should be able to double click on it, and we've got color here. Now we've got too much on the edge, so let's use our eraser. And I love these tools. I'm zooming in, and I've got the eraser, and we're going to just erase some of this right here and make it kind of like it's supposed to be there. And then let's take the paintbrush and whoops, I did that wrong. Okay. And then let's just get rid of that blue and put some black in there. There. Okay. Now we can refill it with black, and that'll be gone. So we can go to cut and fill the black. And you can fill it with whatever color you want. Oh, it didn't get rid of it all. And then add the filter. As you can see, there is lots of playing around that you should do just to get used to some of these new tools. So I hope that helps, and I hope you have fun playing with it. Happy cropping.